there, Mopoor family. Welcome back. So today, we're going to be working on Becky. Man, she's just... She's a lot of parts sitting on that car. Anyway, we got some good stuff for it. So we got the Hemi all rebuilt. Yep. All rigged up. Huge shout out to my best friend AJ for making me the motor lifting plate. I drew it up for him and he made it for me. So, huge shout out to you. Thank you. Anyway, I think we're ready to stab this thing in. The biggest problem that I can see right now is I have the oil pump is all primed, the upper end's primed and everything, so I really don't want to take the oil filter adapter off if I don't have to. So it's going to be a little tough getting this bolt in here, but I think we can make do. I'm hoping. Otherwise, if I got to take it out and I got to put the thing is, putting the adapter on in the car is going to be pretty rough too. So I think it would be easier to finagle the bolt. So we'll see. Anyway, let's get to it. Listen, you and I are the only ones here, so you're gonna have to guide me a little bit, okay? I can't drive the forklift and look at the engine bay. You guys are gonna have to guide me a little bit. Use your voices. Okay, let's do it. So far, so good. Down, you say? Back just a couple inches. To the driver's side. There's that. Alright, I'm gonna have to find a way to start looking and get that bolt in there. Underneath. I think underneath. We're real close. Let me see if I can get you guys underneath to see what I'm seeing. This is the front side, looking at the nut side. See, we only got about a half a hole of bolt there, so let's see if I can do this. This mount has to go that way and down a little bit, which means I'm gonna have to notch the right side of that mount. Come on, Holley, do a little better. All right, before I get ready to dump this back in there, just wanted to let you guys see what I just did. So this is an adapter off of a 09 Jeep Hemi. I noticed when it was in there, this skirt that was on there, wherever I put that little chunk, here it is. Ooh, it's hot. That skirt was that much longer. And it was darn near on the K-frame. If the back of the motor would have came up at all, it would have been hitting the K-frame. So either way, oil filter change is going to make a mess on that K-frame. So I trimmed that off just a little bit. So yeah, and then on the other side, I trimmed that, oh, get you, sorry. I trimmed that motor mount, so hopefully it'll go around that a lot muy better. All right, I'm going to get this back in where you guys seen it last. Just like that, the motor mounts fit. Look at that, looks good. Other side, I don't think you can see as easy, but I will I'll tighten those up, and then I'll get the tranny on the tranny jack. Okay, got the car jacked up here underneath. I don't know why that light is doing that to the camera, but anyway, got the jack on the engine to adjust the angle of that. Pretty much the only thing in this whole swap is right here. So that is a 3/8 thick by 2-inch wide piece. So I cut this out of there because it's too thick for the tone ring apparently on that neg 1 transmission. So cut that out of there and then formed this hoop, welded that in there, and now it should give it plenty of clearance for that transmission and tone ring and yoke and all that good stuff. So this whole kit that I bought everything is Holley, which is super expensive, but well worth it. We got the new FTI 3000 stall torque converter in there. We have that because of the Flying Ryan Mark 82 cam I decided to go with in the engine. So yeah, anyway, get you guys set up and we'll work the tranny over. Oh shit. Also, there's 2 tabs. You know what? I'll get the video for you guys. So also on this tranny, there's 2 tabs right here and right here that a guy cut off there, shaved them off. I don't really know if I needed to or not, but when I took measurements, it was pretty tight up in that tunnel. So they look just like these. Oh, right here. They look just like those right there. So yeah, shaved those off. And I guess when I get it up in there, I'll definitely let you guys know, yeah, those would have cleared, or no, they wouldn't. But yeah, let's get you guys all situated back up again. All right, little update on the tranny situation on this. So I got to pull it out one more time. So this time I got the plate in there like I was supposed to, but I didn't put the dipstick tube back in. It turns out the tunnel is way too tight. Between the tunnel and the head, you can't get the dipstick tube back in. So, all right, I'm gonna pull it one more time. And then after that, I'm going home. But thankfully it's really not that bad. Tranny jack makes this pretty easy. So I'm gonna pull it one more time, and hopefully this time I'll get it right. Okay, challenges keep getting harder and harder. So it turns out that dipstick tube, can you see that way over yonder? That's gotta go on the above the head on the intake. And I'm hoping I don't have to massage this pinch lip for the floor I don't know. I don't know, guys. So, anyway, I have to try to get that up there and try to keep the tranny at a goofy angle. So the reason why I didn't marry the tranny with the engine is because I assumed that was going to be harder for one guy to try to angle down in there. Definitely wish I would have done that now. So just, if you guys are doing it, go ahead and do that. All right, it's enough kitty chatting. I'm going to try to get this. This should be interesting. Pretty interesting. Might have to take that lifting plate off the top of the engine. It looks like I'd be able to sneak it through then. Oh, God, zoids. What really sucks, it doesn't even have a dipstick in there. You have to buy the tool to check it. It's just like a... Oh, okay. That's just... Yeah. Yeah, fun this. Okay. Try that. Oh, this is awesome. Okay, so forward a little, up. Already at an angle. All right, I gotta take that motor lifting plate off there. And then I'll be able to sneak it up through there. Let me give you guys a eye view of what I'm seeing. Supposed to be a nice short little video for you guys, but yeah, so see, dipstick tube right here. Trying to get it up above this head here, but that motor lifting plate's in the way right now. So I will go take that off and then hopefully be able to keep raising this up in that hole. All right, I'll be back. Okay, tranny's back out. So tomorrow on the list of fun things to do is clearance, where I got these marks here. This is gonna have to go in a bit. And then up here, can I see? Up here, that's definitely got to get clearanced also for this darn dipstick. And I'm gonna, since I got to take the engine out anyway in order to clearance that, because there's no way I could swing a hammer or do anything like that, I'm gonna bolt the engine and tranny together and try, hopefully more successfully, to do it that way. Okay, see you guys tomorrow. All right, boys and girls, it's the next day. We got the tranny bolted to the engine. We're gonna try something different. We are, well, let's just look in here. Did a little bit of clearancing, as you can see in here. Yep. Nobody would answer me on the old onlines who's done this before, so we're just gonna figure it out ourselves. I don't think we were supposed to have to clearance, but you know, it is what it is. That dipstick tube is definitely in the way. This guy right here. So let's get this in here. We have Lori with us. Boom. She's gonna be driving the lift, and I'm gonna be in the smush zone. All right, I'll get you guys set up, and then we'll get it in there. right, guys, major issues. We got a clearance, a whole lot more. Yeah, these mounts from Holley, they can piss right off. A guy would have been better off making his own mounts and tranny mounts. Just saying, you can make this fit a lot nicer. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna shut you guys off. We're just gonna pop this out of here and then stab it back in. Honestly, I'll show you guys what it looks like after we clearance, and then try to keep the video a little shorter. Okay, we're back. Let's see, what is this, like take 473. So clearanced in here for the dipstick tube, did some more pounding up in here. Honestly, it looks pretty bad, but thankfully the tranny is smashed up against it, so hopefully it doesn't look too bad. And then a little bit over here for the shift linkage. All right, well, hopefully that's gonna be it, because if not, I'm gonna just need to remake a tunnel, and that'll suck. I did, as you can see, spray some undercoating over everything, so yeah. All right, and we're back. We got answers finally. So you can see the upper holes. Oh jeepers. Trying to hold the camera and the light. No bueno. Okay, see the upper holes here? That is the old mounting holes. So what I did is I drilled holes below that and I cut tubes. So it was just 3/8 black pipe. I think it was a little over 2 inches, like 2 1/4-ish inches, something like that. Anyway, welded those in there, ground them flush so that you got a tube for the bolt, so the bolt doesn't crush in the channel, right? Anyway, put those in there, and that dropped it down enough to where my pinion angle ended up good. I got good clearance all the way around. That is, look at how tight that is. That is Holley's mount system. There's like probably an 1/8 of an inch, I'd say, in there. Oh, she's in park. But, like, golly, sometimes you just need another human being. Yeah, she's close, but she does not hit. So, and I don't know, I got Sound German Automotive, but I don't know if I end up using this rubber adapter or not, between the drive shaft or that. So I'm not gonna get the drive shaft made until I know that, because that thing's like 1 inch thick. So I don't know what's gotta be in there, but I'm sure some sort of dampener is. But anyway, look up here now. You can see, golly, this hates the light. You can see there's plenty of room now. You can see that spot on the undercoating where it was hitting before. Around the dipstick tube, plenty of room. All right, if I were to do this again, because I spent the big money on the Holley stuff, okay? The Roadrunner's getting a 392. I've decided I'm not gonna use an Neg 1 transmission. I don't know what I'm gonna go with here, but probably not gonna be a Neg 1 transmission. I don't like how much tunnel work had to be done. And on this one, I just beat it, because this is just a driver. I'll never restore this. If somebody else wants to restore it, they can restore it. But I totally dig the rattiness of this thing. I'm gonna have great interior, beautiful, fuel injected Hemi that'll get us anywhere in this country we wanna go. Eventually we're gonna do the brake upgrade, maybe even a Borgeson steering upgrade. But other than that, man, it's gonna be just an awesome cruiser. Just a good, dependable, awesome cruiser. So at the end of the day, I wasn't too sore about clearancing the tunnel, but I certainly would not be doing that to the Roadrunner. If I were to do it to the Roadrunner, I'd fabricate a new tunnel before I ever did that. The pinch lip here, I essentially had to beat in on that one. Right here where there's this, golly, it's focusing only on my finger. Right here, ended up going probably 1.5 inches in. I mean, that dipstick tube had to be clearance the most. And honestly, okay, so that dipstick tube doesn't even contain a dipstick. So you have to buy a tool that you don't leave in there. I don't know how much you guys know about the LX world, you know, the Chrysler 300s, the Chargers, stuff like that. But you just buy a tool in order to check that. So it's not even in there permanently. I would like to think, and I'll be real PO'd at myself if I find this out later, but I don't understand why there's not just like the Ford Explorers and stuff like that. Why isn't there just a small stub here that you just dip the tool in there, or a hole that it weeps out of? Like, that to me is stupid. That's dumb. I don't like it. But anyway, that should wrap up this video. She's all bolted in. She's looking beautiful. Going back to that, if I were to do this again, I would definitely buy the mounts from Holley. I really like that, even though I had to modify the freaking actual Lakewood mount itself. You know, I had to trim out for around that steering box, or that tab around the steering area there. I still liked them. I dig that mount. It gave it plenty of firewall clearance. I was still able to sneak the bolt in and keep the adapter on. I mean, plenty good mounts. I like that. I mean, it's so easy to make, but I would consider buying this bracket again, the Nag 1 bracket. There is, God, it looks really bad on the camera, but there is enough clearance in there. This is just a turbo 350 Chevy, you know, standard transmission mount. They made them for forever and a day. I mean, probably the most common tranny mount out there. So I would take that, but I would not spend $100-something on this cross member. Not at all, not one bit. What I would have done instead is I would have taken the stock cross member right here. Probably don't need the light here. I would have cut this plate off, and on the bottom down there, I would have thickened that up. Here, I would have thickened this up a little bit. I would have put the slots in there just like the bottom of that other cross member have. I would have cleaned this off. Cut all that off. I would have cleaned it up. It would essentially almost looked exactly like that. In turn, that mount would have sat in there deep enough, giving you the proper pinion angle and the clearance all the way around on the tunnel. And you wouldn't be, I want to say that thing's $100-something. I know it is. And I'm sure for a 727, this thing works great. Sure it works awesome. A518, sure it works great. This Nag 1, way too bulky. That thing, nope. The height wasn't right. Back in the day, they made a short Chevy mount, and I know Energy Suspension still makes one, but at the end, you know, I sat there and thought about it. I'm like, maybe I should just order one. But I would have only gained like 1/4 of an inch, and it really, the tranny, the angle and everything sat a lot nicer at about 1/2 inch, 5/8 down. So I'm glad I moved the holes. It just was quite a process for something that I bought to be bolt in. You know, that was the biggest thing. I bought all the Holley stuff to be bolt in. The oil pan, I really do like the oil pan. I don't know if you guys remember the other video, but I was talking about, I originally bought that US Car Tool K-frame notch because I was trying to do this the cheapest way possible to show you guys how it can be done. But you had to buy the goofiest, grossest looking mounts to make that work. And I already had the Holley mounts. I think the Holley mounts look a lot better. So that's when I decided to go back, spend $430 on the pan. I really wanted the raw finish pan, but believe it or not, the raw finish pan was more expensive than the black. So I said, screw it. If you're crawling underneath the car, I mean, obviously I'm gonna touch up and paint this cross member and all that stuff anyway. But if you're crawling underneath the car, she's, you know, 58 years old. It's not no showpiece under here, so. Anyway, that's enough talking. That'll wrap it up for this video. The Hemi is in there. Becky is one step closer to hitting the road again since 1983. Well, there you go. That should wrap that up. Remember to like and subscribe. And we are Mopoor. Get out there, work on your rides. We got to keep this sport alive. That's the only way they're going to make parts for us is if we're buying their stuff, giving them feedback on it, whatever. But you got to get out there. You got to work on your rides, even if it's 15 minutes a week. I don't care. It's 15 minutes more a week than it is just sitting there doing nothing. Get out there, work on your rides. All right, Mopoor community. We'll talk to you later. Bye.